really know each other when he was an assistant coach at St. Mary's. And, we loved sitting around talking basketball. He's a guy that's just a basketball junkie. Very good on the practice floor. When I got to watch him at St. Mary's, obviously he's known as an incredible recruiter, but he's really, really good on the floor. He's a guy that loves individual player development. He's just as well-rounded a coach as I've been around, from the recruiting aspect to the X and O's, game preps, practice and individual skill development. And then when he was at LSU and Coach Jones was looking for another coach, it was my connection to Coach Patrick that introduced, Coach Jones and I to each other. And we got to spend a year, at LSU together, and couldn't be more excited to have him join us. He's obviously got recruiting ties, having worked in the SEC and also being at TCU. Just not many coaches that have head coaching experience at the Division I level, have recruited and proven recruiter at the Division I level in our own league, and then also someone that has NBA experience as well, having worked for the Houston Rockets.
And then I know obviously Arkansas has a lot more resources and money than UC Riverside, but he was a head coach. Did he reach out to you first and say, hey, I'd like to get back in the SEC and work with you? Or did you call him, or how did that work? And when you got to know him at St. Mary's, was that when you were between coaching jobs, or what were you doing then?
Yeah, it was after my short Sacramento Kings stint, where I was doing media stuff, and I would take my two sons to rebound for them and work them out up at St. Mary's, after their practices. And so it was between jobs where I had plenty of time to observe and watch. And what was the second part of the question, Bob? Well,
David's a head coach, and obviously Riverside doesn't have Arkansas's, resources or money, but he was a head coach. Was it hard to convince him to go back to an assistant's job? Did he reach out to you first and say, I'd like to work with you? Or did you reach out to him and say, hey, let's work together again? Or how'd that go down?
Yeah, I mean, he was the first name that, when we had an opening, he was the first guy that I thought would really be good and fit in with our current entire staff and knows me. And I loved his background of being a player at a high level, obviously his connections to Australia. I've seen him work as a recruiter, and so yeah, he was the first guy. But he had a really good year this year at Riverside. He's been there for 2 years now, and he was building it on the upward swing. And you look at some of the games and the wins that they had this year, like at Nebraska. He was building something that was probably, going in the direction of being something really special in the Big West. However, having said that, we do have mutual friends in Johnny Jones and Brendan Surr, and I asked both of those guys to talk to Coach Patrick.
Well, hello. It's the Tuesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, coming to you here live on KDSJ 479 from 1 to 2 p.m. And we let you hear audio from head basketball coach Eric Musselman, continuously talking about the new hire of the new associate head coach David Patrick. Really big hire, but we got a really, really top-of-the-line show today. We're going to continue on with the Hog Eye segment, because we all know Arkansas and Coach Sam Pittman are trying to really get this program back to respectability. Over the last couple of years, hadn't been that way, and it's all about the Jimmies and the Joes. So we started several months ago with this Hog Eye segment, and at 1:15, we're going to have yet another one of those 2022 guys we keep talking about in 4-star and Under Armour All-American and offer by Kendall Browse and staff, Ty Simpson of Martin, Tennessee, Westview High School. We'll see what Ty has to say about the Razorbacks, and then we're going to make our way down to League City, Texas, Dickinson High School. We're going to talk to yet another 2022 tight end wide receiver. He's a good one too. 4-star Donovan Green. We'll find out what he has to say about the Razorbacks, and then we'll round it out all the way in the Peach State once again at McEachin High School, where we're going to talk to Essie Dubree The 2021 linebacker has recently been offered by Coach Ryan Rhodes, Coach Odom, and that defensive staff, Coach Pittman. We'll find out what ED has to say about the Razorbacks. But I want to go over real quick to my guy, the man with the plan. Demetrius, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm not gonna lie, ready to get this KDKs after the show's done.
Hey, you said that. Speaking of sponsors, they're one of our sponsors. We got to show love to them too. Lindsay and Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, office location also two in Rogers. Locomotion, they're located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and the one that D just said, KDK's Chicken. They're located down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith and Kathy, and I'll tell you, get some of that love. They tell you it's not your mama's. I say the best chicken and waffles in the South. Meet us there or beat us there. That's KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. And Demetrius, we got a lot going on, my man. A lot's about to take place here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Still yet with the pandemic hovering over the program athletically. I'm of the belief we're going to have football. That's just me personally, but so many people are still yet apprehensive. Is it still yet some reason to be apprehensive? I mean, it just came out yesterday, I believe, a 98.9% recovery rate in the state of Arkansas. But you made a point. You still have outside, people coming in. So, man, where are you at with that, knowing what we know now?
You know what? I think we have to look at the professional teams. I think they have to lead by example. This is sports at the highest level. I think until they begin play and continue to play, I think that's where you started. I think you have to look at them and see what motives they take, what things they do to ensure the player safety. Because right. I think, again, when you get to an educational level where these guys aren't making money, I think it's beyond a dollar value. I know you always say these kids have the right to be selfish.
Right.
And I think with dealing with their health and not being compensated financially, I think players have to be selfish and actually do what it is that they have to do to protect their health. But like these professional players, they get paid.
Now, I agree with you, but we're going to get on it. We got to start the Hog Eye segment because, like we tell you, they don't stop, and neither do we. We're making our way down to Martin, Tennessee, where we're about to talk to Ty Simpson. He's about to take the stage. It's on the Hill, and it's the Hog Eye segment on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
Talked to and asked if they could also talk to Coach Patrick. And so a lot of back and forth, a lot of, talking about vision and what we thought we could do together and so on and so forth. So it wasn't just one phone call. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth. And it was hard for Coach Patrick to leave a head coaching job. I can tell you that wasn't an easy decision for him.
But you reached out to him first.
Yes.
Okay. I got some more questions, but I know Kyle will respect the two-question thing, and hopefully you can roll back to me.
We'll come back, Bob. I promise.
Okay.
Hutch?
Yeah, I guess I was going to ask about Isaiah Joe, if you had any update on Isaiah and the timeline. I guess now there's a deadline with August 3rd. Do you think it could last to that?
Yeah, Hutch, I don't really know what Isaiah and the Joe family, what their timeline will be. I think that, a lot of guys have been doing Zoom interviews. Those are going to start tapering down, and they've already started tapering down in the last week, and it'll continue to go in a slower pattern, and then well past August, I'm sure those interviews will start ramping back up. But just as I've stated in the past, Hutch, I mean, we're just here to support Isaiah, here to support facilitating any of these Zoom interviews that we possibly can. And I've said it. I mean, we've got two different depth charts and two different game plans, and until we find out one way or the other. We'll just keep proceeding, one team with him and one team without him.
And then with the coaching search, was this the only candidate you pursued, or did you kind of go vet your options? And how many coaches did you talk to for this position before settling on Coach Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people.
Welcome back to our Tuesday edition here of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio on KDSJ 479. And we'd like to continue on. We started this thing called the Hall Guys several months back, and we just continue to follow Coach Pittman because their eyes don't stop, and neither do we. And they want to make an impact in that 2022 class. And what better way? It always starts with the quarterback. So we thought we'd make our way all the way to Martin, Tennessee, Westview High School, and talk to five-star. I call him a five-star, Ty Simpson. Ty, welcome to OTH, my man.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Ty, talk about the recruiting process. You're heading into your junior season, but talk about that relationship that you're starting to build with the University of Arkansas, quarterbacks coach, OC Kendall Browse, and Coach Pittman and that staff.
So, it's been a long recruiting process, that's for sure. It started real early for me in the 8th grade. So, it's been really, really surprising to me that it started this early, but, also a blessing. I think the Arkansas staff is, a really cool and well put together staff. Just, starting with Coach Pittman and his, jolly self. He's always got a smile on his face, and, whether it be a rainy day or, a sunny day, he's always smiling. And, I have a great relationship with Coach Barry Odom from when he was at the University of Missouri,
right?
Just recruiting me there. And then, Kendall Browse, when he offered me, he was, real complimentary of me and my game. And, I knew about him when he was at Baylor and Florida State and all those other great programs.
When you looked at your game your sophomore year, when you sat down with your offensive staff, Ty, what was it that you felt real good about, and what, were the notes that you made in the film room that you've been working to improve on so you can have an even better junior campaign?
I was real, happy with me extending the play last year and being able to, throw the guys on the run and throw them open and just, find a way to win for my team. We first time we made the playoffs in probably 7 or 6 years last year, so that was a great deal for us. But this year we got a new head coach, and that will be my third one in 3 years.
Oh wow!
So a whole different system and a whole different philosophy. But fortunately for me, my dad's a head football coach, college coach, and this new head coach who we hired played for him. So, we're going to run our system or his system. And so I've been knowing this system for, ever since I was little. And, I'm just going to try to help my teammates and other people around me the best player they can be.
Right.
So they can, get us a win. You know what I mean?
When your dad, I know your dad is the head coach there, Coach Simpson there at UT Martin. Talk about having a father that's a head coach at the Power 5 level, how that helps you with the recruiting process. Because, like you said, you've been going through this since the 8th grade. And also, second part of that question, you're right there in the state of Tennessee. How much in-state pressure are you receiving to go ahead and be of all?
So, my dad's at the University of Tennessee in Martin, a little OVC FCS school here in Martin, Tennessee, and it's been a real blessing, put it that way. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, because of the connections and what he knows about football and, being a quarterback, because he played the position, played at, Mississippi State and then transferred to Southern Miss.
Right.
There's some pressure here being in Tennessee, and everybody wanting me to be involved. But hey, at the end of the day, I just want to play ball and do what's best for me. And if that means go to the University of Tennessee, that's great. But if that also means go play for Coach Pittman and get Arkansas back on the track and win a national championship, then hey, I'm on board for it.
Speaking of Arkansas, you have a connection to the University of Arkansas and a wide receiver that happens to be here. And with that being said, Trey Knox, He's the guy that when we talked last night, Ty, you said you were on his official visit at the same time you were on an unofficial at Tennessee. Talk about that relationship with Trey, and what has he said to you once he found out that you got the offer from the University of Arkansas?
Yeah, Trey's a great dude. I threw with him since I was young at 7-on-7, and for him to commit and see him go somewhere like that it was real cool for me to see.
Right.
And once I got that Arkansas offer, he tweeted out, "Hello, Mr. Simpson." And I was all excited and stuff. And it would be, if I got the opportunity to play with him and throw to him again, I think it'd be real dangerous, but also real fun at the same time.
Now, when you look at collegiate or NFL quarterbacks, Ty, who are some of the guys that you like to pay attention to?
Of course, the great Patrick Mahomes. I really enjoyed him ever since he was in college. I once thought the Chiefs made a great pick back in and shoot, I can't remember when he got drafted, but I always was a baseball guy at first, so I knew that he had a heck of an arm, and
right.
They realized that when they signed him for $500 million. And then, at the college level, I really enjoyed watching Bo Nix. And, just because he's a great person, but also a great player.
Right.
And I strive to be like those two, as this process goes on.
Now, when I come there to Westview High School there in Martin, Tennessee, and I'll get my popcorn like I always do. Got to have popcorn, and I got to have my 20-ounce Sprite. I'm going to get to the top bleacher in the stadium. When the football is kicked off, what type of football player will I see for 4 quarters in Ty Simpson?
Yeah, you're going to see a guy who would do anything to win. Whether that means sit out the rest of the game so, another guy can get in or, cut my finger off. It really does not matter. I'm a very, competitive guy, and I want to win in everything, whether, it's walking down to the punch line or something like that. I always want to win, and, I fully believe if the quarterback is willing to win and is trying anything to win, the people around him will follow. And once that happens, then you pretty much won the team over, and you set a good example for the people around you.
We're talking with Ty Simpson. For those that have just tuned in to our live broadcast here on the Hill Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, we're talking with the 2022 5-star Under Armour All-American quarterback out of Martin, Tennessee, Westview High School. I want to touch base on that, Ty. You look across the country, and with this 22 class in Arkansas, they've got a lot of kids talking about them in the 22 class, All-Americans and throughout. Have you had a chance to see that type of action on social media with just the way Arkansas's brand is going through you guys? And if so, how much does that play in as far as Arkansas is concerned?
It's it plays a big role. I know Coach Pittman when he was at Tennessee, at Georgia, and all those places. He had one of the best offensive line in the nation. I mean, look at Georgia last year, 2 first-round picks on that line.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy. And for a quarterback, that's a good sign because they always know that there'll be good offensive linemen wherever Sam Pittman is.
Now go ahead.
At Arkansas, I know they have a good pedigree from linemen.
Right.
And so for that's Coach Pittman, and that's just a plus. So that that's real exciting for a quarterback, and especially to get recruited by him and be able to have an opportunity to play for him is even more exciting.
Now we're riding around. We're gonna have a little fun. Ty, you and myself riding around Martin, Tennessee in your vehicle. I'm OG. What's the first 5 songs on the playlist we're gonna listen to?
So probably the first 2 are probably gonna be with Garth Brooks. Calling Baton Rouge and Friends in Low Places.
Okay.
And then I will have some Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan.
I like that.
And then the last song will probably be Little Baby. You have to have some head knocking in there a little bit.
I like those, Ty. We're definitely going to vibe. You got a little mixture of country, hip-hop. You just got it all. Very versatile. That's what a quarterback has to do. You got to be able to adjust on the fly. Last question, Ty, and I want you to complete this statement for me. When football is done with, for Ty Simpson of Martin, Tennessee. Westview High School, he's went on to play Power 5 football, realized his dream and played in the NFL. It's all over. The ball's flat, shoes are up, pads are up. What does Ty Simpson plan on doing with life after football?
So, I love the game. I really do. So I probably will get into coaching just because I love the game so much. But, if coaching doesn't work out for me, I'll probably come back to my hometown, Martin, Tennessee, and sell insurance with, one of our good family friends and, hopefully carry on the State Farm name. But, I love football so much. I love sports so much. So anything to do with that, I'm all for it.
Well, my man, I wish you the best upcoming junior season. Much respect and congratulations on the recruiting process. I watched that film, and anything and any offer that you get for the future going forward is well deserved. Hey, this can't be the last time that you're on our show. Our line is your line, and our show is your show. So let's do some Ty Simpson updates when we get off into the season. You up for that?
Yes, sir, always.
All right, Ty, you have a blessed one, and taking time out here on OTH today.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having me.
That was 2022 5-star Under Armour All-American quarterback out of Martin, Tennessee, Westview High School, Ty Simpson. Demetrius, the young man, being a son of a head Division I football coach, that's big time. And the arm that he displayed, absolutely.
All I can say is gunslinger. That's all I can say. I think if you saw the tape, you can see.
He said Patrick Mahomes is one of the guys he likes to watch, and some of those balls he was delivering, Patrick Mahomes liked. Now I'm not calling him that, but I think Patrick Mahomes liked with some of those passes he was delivering. I mean, absolutely.
For sure.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we got to gas up. We got to make it all the way to League City, Texas, where we're going to talk to Dickinson High School's tight end wide receiver and Arkansas prospect in that 2022 class, Donovan Green. He's about to take the stage. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a sec.
Know each other. It's really cool to see them, move in together, and they're all in the same room, and so it's awesome.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tara.
Hi. Yeah, Coach, did you get a chance to watch Eddie on Monday night?
Yes, not only did I watch Eddie, but Mariah watched Eddie, Michael Muss watched, and so did Danielle. So we as a family watched it. What Coach Sutton did it's insane, like the wins and, every place he went, he won. And obviously as a family, we were, and I had to rewind it a couple times watching what he did here at Arkansas. Just the environment and the crowd and the enthusiasm, and I thought it was awesome. I mean, any fan of Arkansas basketball, that's like a must-see watch as far as I'm concerned.
And I know you use a lot of like new technology recruiting and as far as your virtual tours and stuff. Coach, do you ever talk to players about like just the history? Because a lot of times like these kids, they don't know even about Nolan Richardson, but do you ever bring back the history of Arkansas basketball like Eddie Sutton and what happened in the 90s?
Yeah, I think it's really important to talk about our history, but I also, yes, we do, but we don't go overboard with it just because it has been, there's been a time gap, so yeah, we talk about what's been done here in the past. We talk about all the great coaches that have been here. We talk about all the great players and the former NBA players, and the stuff's all over the walls and in the practice site. So yeah, we do talk about it because I think it's an important part. Now we want to try to, become relevant in this time as well.
Welcome back. It's our Tuesday edition here of OTH on KDSJ 479, and we're going to continue on with the Hall Guy segment as the 2022 class has a chance to be very, very, very special for Coach Sam Pittman and that staff here in Fayetteville, and they're going to make their way and hope that this guy can help make a difference in that 22 class, and we're going to bring him on all the way from League City, Texas, Dickinson High School. 2022 tight end wide receiver prospect, Donovan Green. DG, welcome to OTH.
What's up, Coach?
Talk about the recruiting process, Donovan. You're a highly, highly recruited young man, and it's been that way. You go back to your sophomore season. Talk about how that process is going, and then also too, Arkansas comes out with their offer. What's the relationship going forward with you and Arkansas to this point?
The recruitment, it really started off slow, being that I was a tight end and that everybody was usually getting their looks from colleges before me, and so I didn't start until like after my sophomore year, after I got my film out, and coach is actually seeing how it could be, because I had went to a whole bunch of camps before that, and they liked me because I really didn't I just did really good at the camps, and they just like, I just need to see your film and then we'll get an offer. And so after I finished my year, they just started rolling in, and so that's just been crazy ever since. And then when I got that number one on the 24/7, that just made it even better. So that shot up again too at that point. And so it's just been crazy ever since.
Well,
I can't really go a day without somebody trying to call me. So, yeah.
Arkansas and Coach John Cooper and the offensive staff, Coach Browse, they come in with the offer a little under a week ago, I should say, DG.
Mm-hmm.
What was that conversation like, when that offer came about? And, what are your feelings toward the University of Arkansas and that program?
Actually, what happened was, like, I was on Twitter before that, and then this dude, Lucas Coley, was talking to me, and he had just committed to Arkansas.
Right.
And I was talking to him, and I was like, man, I just guess they just don't want me yet. And he called him up because he wanted me to go there. And so he called him up, and it was like, yeah, we know about Donovan, and we talked to him back in January, and we was like, we offered him, but he just hasn't posted it yet. And I was like, what? I had talked to him once, but I never recalled never recalled them offering me whatsoever.
Right.
And so Lucas gave me their number, and we talked, and we got it down.
Awesome. Now, you have a friend, a teammate that's being recruited by Arkansas on the offensive line, Patrick Williams. When you were able to talk to Patrick about, you being offered by the University of Arkansas, what was that conversation like, and how big would that be if you guys both can continue on at the next level, having been high school teammates?
I mean, that's really the big plan, I say. Being able to go to the same school with my friends, being able to continue our careers. But we don't really, well, I don't know about him, but I haven't really put out there one of my best schools. But yeah, it's just another one of those schools that's up there in the list.
Now, when you sat down with your offensive coaches after your sophomore season, DG, what you feel good about, and what are some of the things that you've been in the off season working on so that you can improve and have an even better junior season?
Being that we can't really do anything, it's not. It's a lot of opportunities for people to get way worse than what they were last year.
Right.
And I'm just trying to keep working on getting better as much as I can, doing everything at home, because my mom got my whole family on lockdown. I can't do nothing, especially all of this stuff been going back up. So I just got to keep doing what I can do at home and just keep working.
Who are some of the NFL or collegiate tight end / receivers? I call them H-backs that you like to watch, Donovan.
Man. I haven't really got into that much.
Right.
But in the NFL, I probably just Kittle, Kelsey, and Aaron Jones.
You can't go wrong with those two.
Yeah.
Now, that culture there at Dickinson High School, talk about, what is it about Dickinson that you'll be able to take with you to your school of choice and always hang your hat on?
Hard work and relentless effort. My coach always preached that to us. Like, our saying is TRE, we call it Trey. And we got as soon as you get on varsity,
right,
and you go through our summer practice before the next season or the spring ball, we all get these necklaces, and then we go into boot camp and on it is Trey, it say TRE, and we were supposed to stand by that saying that says total relentless effort, and we just always supposed to go by that
I like
every
that
day
one,
in our
man.
practice.
I like that. Now, when I'm at the football stadium there at Dickinson High School, and I'm coming to watch DG, I'm gonna get popcorn and my 20-ounce Coca-Cola. You know I gotta have something to drink. Yeah. What type of football player, when that ball is kicked off, will I see in DG Donovan Green for 4 quarters?
Somebody that's trying to prove a point, and somebody that's trying to keep their ranking at number 1 their whole high school career.
What is it about Texas high school football, Donovan, that you feel like is going to help you when you do move to the Power 5 division, which who knows could that be? It could be SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, but, what is it about Texas high school football that you feel like will help you prepare?
I feel like we have the best competition. I feel like since we have the best competition, like I'm always going against the best of the best. So, I mean, where could you go wrong with that?
Any in-state pressure to stay in the state of Texas and either go to Baylor or TCU, Texas Tech, Texas A&M? I mean, are you feeling any of that in-state pressure? You have 2 years left, but still yet when it starts, especially when you're the number 1 tight end in the state. How are you handling that, DG?
I don't really have any pressure against that. My parents really do a good job of letting me be me and do what I want to do. So they just always supporting me on any of my decisions.
We're talking with Donovan.
And I'm looking.
Go ahead.
And I'm looking into every sport that I get closely, because being a tight end, I feel like you can't. It's not one of those positions where you can just go to any school in the world that you just like that.
Right.
Like, everybody's not gonna use it the same, and that's a fact.
Donovan,
if you wanna sit down and be a blocking tight end, shoot, you can go anywhere.
Right.
But if you want to get the ball and be in a good offense, you can't just go anywhere in the country.
I'm gonna say a word, Donovan. You tell me what this word means to you. Heart.
Standing up against adversity, going through hard times. It's just working hard when everything gets harder. That's what hard is.
I like that. We're talking with Donovan Green of League City, Texas. The young man goes to Dickinson High School. He's a big-time 2022 tight end wide receiver prospect for Coach Kendall Browse, John Cooper, and that entire offensive staff, Coach Sam Pittman. We're riding around, my man. Let's have a little fun. You ready? We're riding around League City, me and DG. What's the first 5 songs on the playlist, my man?
What's the first 5 seeing list?
Yeah, what's first 5 on the playlist?
Oh man. I don't really go to that many places around here, but probably go to Galveston.
Yeah, what's the first 5 songs? What's the first 5 songs on your playlist that we gonna listen to if we riding around town?
Songs?
Yeah, what's the first 5?
Oh, like.
What you listening to?
Man, I'm not. I need to start working on my playlist more. I'm not really. All right. So, Polo G, Through the Storm.
Okay.
42 Doug, We Paid.
Okay.
In the lead chopper, Walk 'em Down.
Okay.
At 3.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, that Walk 'em Down is pretty good. I just heard that a couple days ago. That's pretty good. 2 more.
She's a Korean era.
Okay, and your last one.
ZHD and CEO Roscoe's.
All right. Well, I like those. I definitely like those. And we want everybody to know we're talking with Donovan Green out of League City, Texas, 2022 tight end wide receiver prospect. Goes to Dickinson High School. And I'm going to make a statement, Donovan. I want you to finish it if you would. When football is done with, for Donovan Green, League City, Texas, Dickinson High School, he's went on and played collegiately, went into the NFL, realized his dream, and it's all over. The hair's out of the football, the cleats are put up, helmets in the locker. What does Donovan Green plan to do with life after football?
I would probably be in some type of business with my shoes and stuff, because I'm an engineer right now in my high school, but I feel like it would be smarter to do something that I've already been used to. And I've been making a lot of money on doing my shoes, painting shoes,
Oh.
like cleaning up shoes and stuff. I feel like it would just be a no-brainer to go into business or marketing or just something in that field.
Well, my man, hey, whatever you plan on doing, I know you're going to be a success, most definitely. And every new offer and award that you get going forward, Donovan, is much deserved. And I want to thank you for taking time out here on the Hill. Know this is not the last time you'll be on a show. Our line is your line, and our show is your show. So we're going to come back and do a couple Donovan Green updates throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
For sure.
Hey, Donovan, thanks for taking time out today. And, hey, have a great junior year, my man, and a blessed day.
You too.
Mm-hmm. That was 2022 tight end wide receiver prospect. He's the number 1 rated tight end in the 2022 class in the state of Texas and one of the top in the country, Demetrius. This is a big-time player, and it just goes to illustrate even more the type of football player. And when Coach Sam Pittman said you had to recruit on steroids and understand the conference you're recruiting to, they're definitely demonstrating that. The relationships that they're starting to build, hopefully, I'm telling you, if they get 5 or 6 wins, that 22 class could be historical.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he reminds me of Chris Gregg from a couple of years ago. I think he has a little bit more straight line speed than Chris Gregg, but as far as the athleticism and the ability to catch the ball and do something after he gets it in his hands, I think he shows a lot of similarities as him, and I think he can be effective in a Kendall Browse offense.
Well, we're going to talk to another guy that they think could be effective in the Arkansas Razorback defense for Ryan Rhodes and Coach Barry Odom. That being said, S.C. Dupree, we're making our way down to Powder Springs, Georgia, McEachern High School. We're talking to the big-time linebacker. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
Innovative. He's always trying to learn. He's an underrated coach, and I think what happened is when he went to Riverside, people saw how good he was from an X and O standpoint and a game plan standpoint. So I just think he's a really, really well-rounded coach in all aspects of the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Kevin.
Gotti?
Yeah, Coach, have you gotten any feedback or reports on, how guys are doing with the voluntary workouts to this point?
No, what we've really been doing is just focusing on Zoom calls and recruiting and this is their time to just, get in that weight room and get in the sand pit and be around Coach Dave Richardson. And, our interaction up till now, move-in day, was great because we got to be around him. And other than that, Scotty, we just have not really had much contact with them at all. I'm not in the weight room with them. I don't observe it. It's I'm kind of in my office doing Zoom calls, but we do look forward, to being around them much more, here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, this might be a little off the wall, but I'm just curious what Hayes Myers has brought to your staff. I understand you guys' relationship goes back to, I think, when he was a student manager at LSU.
Yeah, no, Hayes is he does a lot of projects that people wouldn't know. We're doing a summer book right now of goals for our players, and he's taking the lead on that. He and I go through a lot of the presentation.
Man, I like chicken and waffles. What's a good place I can get some chicken and waffles? I know. KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. Get on down there and see Keith and Kathy. Get a plate of that love. And like they say on their building, it's not your mama's. The best chicken and waffles in the South. They even got chicken wings. And they got these things called loaded fries. I think you might want to get on down there. Meet me down there or see me down there. KDK's Chicken at 989 Razorback Road. Welcome back to our final segment of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479 today. And we're going to continue on with our Hog Eye segment because we told you, Coach Sam Pittman and that staff, they don't stop watching, and neither do we. So we made our way all the way to Powder Springs, Georgia, where there's a big-time 2021 linebacker prospect that Coach Ryan Rhodes, Barry Odom, and the defensive staff, Coach Sam Pittman, would love to have, say, here in a couple of months, WPS, and come to Fayetteville. So we're going to bring him on. 2021 linebacker, Essie Dupree, ED. Welcome to the Hill, my man.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Talk about the recruiting process, Essie. Arkansas came out a little over a week and a half ago with the offer from linebacker coach Ryan Rhodes. Talk about that conversation, and then the recruiting process. Who are some of the schools also that you're hearing, or we should say, getting a lot of love from, Essie?
Man, the coach call with Coach Rose was a pretty good call. It hit me up saying that he really likes how I play, my play style. He likes to have me up there with the Hogs and all that good stuff. And I just really enjoyed talking to him. Me not knowing much about Arkansas and living in Georgia all my life, I hear that it's like the biggest thing down there in Arkansas, almost like the pro team and everything.
Right.
So it's I would like to get a lot to know more about the state of Arkansas and the university. Along with the recruiting aspect, the recruiting is crazier than I think it's ever been before. For my people in my class, we don't get to go to the schools that we want to go check out now. We can only see what the coaches can show us via virtual tour or anything, pictures and related. So the recruiting class for us has been like crazy and tough, and all this stuff is going around the debate if we are even going to have a season or not. Right. So the recruiting class is very up in the air right now with how much stuff is going on, but I still enjoy talking to coaches, getting to hear stuff and all that good stuff. So,
who are some of the coaches and schools that outside of Arkansas are recruiting you and making you a major priority right now, Essie?
So some schools that are making me a major priority right now to them, I would say FAU, Florida Atlantic University, South Carolina, App State, Liberty, Georgia, and those are only just a couple schools, that contact me, Duke, every single day just to check up on me, see how I'm doing and stuff like that.
Georgia high school football, a lot of Division I players come out of that state, Essie. Each and every Friday, you're going to face some of that talent. How do you feel like that helps prepare you when you make the next step, which could be in any conference, SEC, Big 12, ACC, but how does the Georgia high school football prepare you for years to come?
I think it prepares me amazingly. Georgia high school football is like one of the top high school football programs in the United States. I think they're one up there, probably next to California and Florida, but it's really a good state to play football in. I mean, you see why the SEC is most talked about of all the little programs and Big Tens, and it's just I think Southern football is just where it's at.
Right. Now you also are a very accomplished state wrestler. Talk about how that helps you out on the football field on Friday nights.
So out there on the football field Friday nights, it's you're going to get tired. So you need that extra stamina, that extra thing, that gives you more boost, that helps you fight throughout the game and finish the game strong. So for me, instead of just chilling most of the off season, I started wrestling my freshman year, and I just kind of fell in love with it. I mean, it's not an easy sport, but when I saw how freshman year it helped me moving into my sophomore year, and I just started going up, I was like, I got to keep doing this. It's it's just gonna make me better overall. So, and that's why I wanted to become like the best I can be at what I do. So,
Talking with S.E.
rest.
Talking with S.C. Dubree, Powder Springs, Georgia, McEachern High School. He's a 2021 big-time linebacker prospect for the University of Arkansas. Defensive coordinator Barry Odom, linebacker coach Ryan Rhodes, and head coach Sam Pittman. Who are some of the linebackers, S.C., that you like to watch, either in the collegiate ranks or the NFL?
Uh, my favorite linebacker, probably slash DN type, I would have to say is Jadavion Clowney. I fell in love watching Jadavion Clowney since that South Carolina versus Michigan game,
The
and he
lick.
just ran through wide open and just laid him out, fumbling all and covered. It was just like the perfect play in my head, like for anybody on the defensive side, just like the perfect play you could see. So
Right.
that's one of my guys I like watching a lot. And also while watching Khalil Mack, he's a pretty big beast, and Aaron Donald. Those guys are like just tanks of D
Right.
ends and all. They're just amazing. So
ED, when I come to McEachern High School there in Powder Springs and I got popcorn in my 20-ounce Sprite, I'm at the top bleacher. What will I see for 4 quarters in number 42, S.C. Dubree?
I could tell you will see 4 quarters. Plays will be happening every 4 quarters. I mean, I will have to say that my game is not giving up. Like that's the whole part of my game. You will see me give effort on every single play, every time I'm on the field, whether that's kickoff return, defense, on offense. I'm gonna give effort every single time. So you're gonna see that.
Now let's have a little fun, my man, ED. We're riding around Powder Springs, me and you. The first 5 songs on the playlist. What we jamming to?
First 5 songs on the playlist. So what I'm gonna have to aim with, I'm gonna have to say my first song will probably be Lil Uzi Vert. Now I do what I want. That's like a song that really hit with me when I was a younger
Uh-huh.
kids when it first came out, and I just like that song. My second song, I had to say Pop Smoke, Something Special.
Okay.
His album just dropped, and RP to him. But it's an amazing song.
Right.
Just take a look. My third song would have to be "Light It Up" by Young Thug. Young Thug is making bangers all the time,
Uh-huh.
and "Light It Up" really gets me in the mood to do anything. My fourth song would have to be "Vibes" by The Baby, because we always have good vibes over here.
All
You
right.
can't be negative. Can't be
Exactly.
negative. You got to keep
Exactly.
negative people away from us. So,
Good point.
and then my fifth and final song, it has to be "A Boogie" with the hoodie, and it's going to be me and my guitar, and that's just a song I like to listen to sometimes by myself.
Man, I'm
Getting
turned.
me in the mood.
I'm turned,
So
ED. I'm turned. You got me ready to vibe with you. And I want to thank you
yeah.
for taking time out with me, Essie. And I'm going to make a statement. And if you would, finish this statement for me. When football is done with, for Essie Dubree of Powder Springs,
hmm
Georgia, McEachern High School, he's played his collegiate football, went on and realized the dream of playing in the NFL. And the air's out of the football, cleats and pads, and everything's put up in the locker. What does Essie Dubree of Powder Springs, Georgia, McEachern High School. What does he plan on doing with life after football?
Man, life after football is a big part of your life. I feel like you only get so many chances to, be a part of something great in football.
Right.
So you need to, have a good backup plan for that. So I feel like when I went into college, I'm going to either get my business degree and major that, or engineering degree and major that. Not too sure on which route I want to take.
Right.
If I want to own my own business or just be a part of a good engineering company, but I want to do those.
Hey,
So
hey, Essie, there's a pretty good engineering school here in Arkansas. But I'm not going to tamper one bit. I didn't say that. Please don't hold me accountable for that. But my man, hey, this can't be the last time. Hey, our show is your show, and let's do some Essie Dubree updates when the football season hopefully can get in, and let's find out what you got going on. You down with that?
Yes, sir. I will.
All right, Essie. Hey, tell your mom I said thanks for letting me have this time. You guys have a blessed one, and hey, good luck on this senior year.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
All right.
That was 2021 linebacker, major linebacker prospect for Ryan Rhodes, Barry Odom, and that defensive side of the ball, head coach Sam Pittman. Essie Dubree of McEachern High School in Powder Springs, Georgia. Demetrius, tell me what you saw, because I see a savage. I see someone, if you just think about this, if he and Chris Paul are at your linebacker position, man, you're going to make a lot of plays, because these guys play it with a very excited motor.
What's the guy I'm thinking of? Who was the guy that got drafted by the Redskins a few years ago that played linebacker?
You're talking about Martrell Spate.
That's who he reminds me of. Montrell Spate. As I was watching his tape, that's just the vibe I got from him. Was he just reminded me of? I think he's a little bit bigger than Montrell when you look at it, height and weight. But like his play style and his effort to have himself involved in every play. I think that's really what reminded me of him. And I think what he said, about him. Just being relentless, just having that high intensive motor. I'm a former wrestler, so I definitely understand the type of things the type of training that he went through, just being a former wrestler myself.
Well, my man, we're going to wrap up today's show. I mean, it was a great show. It's been so far the first 2 days, Demetrius. Hey, what you think? Are we putting it on?
Oh yeah, I guess everybody's happy that we get back to our hour shows. They've been getting on us about doing the 30-minute shows, but we just been taking care of so much business.
We've been catching flack for that.
Yeah, we've been catching slack, man. They like, man, I'm expecting to see all my recruits, So I'm glad to be back, but we're taking care of a lot of things. We have a lot of new additions we're doing this year.
We're in the off season. We have to get our schematics ready, our game plan ready for the upcoming season as well. So there's a lot of game planning going on in the office with Demetrius and myself. But we want to give a thank you to our guest. With that being said, 2022 quarterback and 5-star Under Armour All-American Ty Simpson of Martin, Tennessee, Westview High School. Thank for him coming on and giving us his insight as to where Kendall Browse and that offensive staff and Coach Sam Pittman at Arkansas are sitting with him. He's got 2 years left, so keep an eye on that one. And 2022 tight end wide receiver prospect Donovan Green of League City, Texas. He goes to Dickinson High School. The young man is the top-rated tight end in Texas, and Arkansas is sure going to be in it to the end. I really think I got to keep my eye on that one as well. And then lastly, we want to thank Essie Dubree of Powder Springs, Georgia, McEachern High School, the 2021 big-time linebacker prospect. Gave us a lot of good insight. This guy plays with an attitude. And Demetrius was right. Martrell Spate. So if he's anything like Martrell Spate, you already know what you're going to get. You're going to get straight savage football. And, Coach Sam Pittman and that staff, they're just showing you. They're trying to get Arkansas's brand back up, and these kids are really, really liking what Coach Pittman and staff are selling. But we want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, as this would not be possible without you all. That being said, Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also, too, in Rogers. Locomotion, they're located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and lastly, KDK's Chicken. They're located down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith and Kathy. Get some of that love. And they say it on the building, it's not your mama's. I say they have the best chicken and waffles in the South. Meet us there or beat us there. That's KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. For my producer and to you all, continue on with the viewership, the questions. We love the interaction. I mean, that's what makes the show. We'll be back tomorrow. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one, and you know what I say. Let's get it.